Hey everyone, my name is Jazz, and today I'll be showing you guys part of a VOD review I did on stream with one of my students. If you'd like to watch full VOD reviews, make sure to check me out on Twitch using the link in the description. And the game that we were watching was of the most recent Cash Cup, and the topics that we cover should be on your screen right around now. And if you'd like to see more VOD reviews, make sure to let me know with a like or comment. But for now, let's get into the video.
Okay. Here I am.
Alright, hold up. Yep, make it a gameplay, because this is sketch.
Yep.
Hey, this is actually my duo drop, that's funny. Or it has been recently. I've been dropping here solos too. I kind of know how to play this spot, I think, pretty sure. So let's pause it for a sec before we do anything. So do you kind of have a strategy for this area or not really?
What do you think, or what do you mean with strategy? I just like land there, loot this house more or less.
And how do you land here? Like where specifically? Like do you land in this top hole? Do you land
on the top mostly, but here I just landed.
Why the top hole? Sorry I'm gonna ask so many questions. It's just because it's important. You really need to think about like what if you're contested. How do you have the best possible? Because RNG is a big factor in the early game, so you want to make sure to minimize that as much as possible. And you do that by basically having a set strategy, and that way you kind of know how to deal with specific problems that you might face in the early game. So what if, for example, so right here, if someone lands with you in the house, how do you make sure that you are going to have an advantage over him without RNG being a factor?
Yeah. Okay. My strategy is more or less to land on the top there, because there's just a chest if I break.
It's right there in the roof, right?
Excuse me?
It's in the roof, right? The chest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
yeah, I know where you mean, because I
like here.
Yeah.
Mostly. And then I just go down here in this door and build me down to the chest, which is completely
it's like under
the ground floor.
Under the yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's just like,
and then imagine you win this area. How do you go after this? So you have this building. How do you deal with people that exactly, like how do you deal with that other guy, for example, that's over there?
With them, I just have replay after that, but I mostly chill on high ground and try to kill him with a sniper or an AR.
Okay.
Mostly. And
I'll tell you what I've been doing for this spot.
Yeah.
It's kind of you're lucky that I know this spot pretty well.
Yeah.
So the problem with going in through the roof is that you don't really have options when it comes to instant loot. I think there might be a floor loot up top, I'm not really sure, but it doesn't spawn always. So you have to break the roof first. So a better way to drop here for sure would be if you go drone free. Yeah.
Yes.
And then go back a little bit, like backwards. So see that hole in the corner? Pause it for a sec. The game. Yep.
This one?
Yeah. No, yeah. That exactly that corner. You can fly through there actually, and there's a floor loot spot right next to the stairs, or like on top of the stairs.
Yes.
And so you have a little bit more options, and you instantly get a weapon usually, if there's a weapon there, obviously. And otherwise you can either go downstairs or upstairs depending on where the other guy is. So like if you know that there's a guy that flew in through the let me see. It kind of depends on what happens in that direct situation. Like whatever happens to the guy that might land with you, you can have options. Like you can either go up or you can go down. But usually there's a weapon right there on the stairs. So you instantly get a weapon.
Like instant here, right?
And then usually it's really nice because you can get that weapon and you can actually shoot people out of the sky that are still flying. Or you can go. You see that chest on the left, like really far away, like next to the hypers guy.
Yeah.
You actually have an angle on that chest too. So like if you pick up an AR or a sniper, you just get a free kill usually, or like at least some tags. And those early game tags, even if you don't kill the guy, even if you hit him like once with an AR, it's still like pressure, and they kind of get stressed. You kind of gain some dominance basically over the area.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
sure.
and then after you loot this spot, what I recommend is basically, so there's basically three main loot spots here. Yeah, so you have 3 buildings.
Yes. This one, this, and this.
Yeah. So the usually you kind of want to secure 2 of these houses somehow while being safe. So that's the main key. Because you want to be able to. Well, it depends on how aggressive or how defensive you want to play. But generally, if you want to play defensive, if you want to be safe about it, you just want to loot as much as possible before fighting, without giving the other guy time to loot. Without giving the other guy enough loot to fight you. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
So after you loot this house, there's actually a pretty decent way that you can go to that opposite house. So like that white one that's like the furthest.
This one?
If you go out the back. Alright, go back to the other building for a sec, or like rotate the camera. Yeah. So you see those stairs, those wooden stairs on the left?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you kind of go from there on out towards the White House, you kind of have, you can kind of use this natural cover where it's really hard for that hypers guy to get an angle on you. And imagine he's on the roof, yeah? Imagine he looted quickly, he's on the roof, he's waiting for you. Even then, you can still get to that White House fairly easy by just using like, I mean, you need like 100 mats probably, that's it, just to build walls if he's up there. And you'd be surprised how often, because I'm pretty sure this house is easier to loot, the one on the left, so the one you're in.
This one?
Yeah, this one's easier to loot, I'm pretty sure, than that one that Hyper's at. Because usually I loot this faster than whoever's over there. And quite often, you'd be surprised when you go to, if you go to that White House really quick, like really fast, without building anything, and you just build ramps behind the house, so like on the right side right now, and then get up on this roof. Yep, on this roof. Yes, exactly. Then the hypers guy will think that you're still over at that building, and you'd be surprised how often you get a free kill just because he's looking at the wrong spot. Sorry for the interruption, but I thought it might be nice to see what it looks like when you put this strategy in motion. So I was kind of looking for a game that was on my PC to see if I can actually get a good example. This isn't the absolute most perfect example, but it does showcase decently what I want to show. As you can see, instant floor loot, you get a shotgun there, and right now I'm not contested for this this specific house. This is from a tournament game. I don't even know from which tournament or how many games in this was, but I figured it could be decent to show off. As you can see, I'm just looting this building fairly quickly, and then even though I've got really low mats, I'm still going to this house, and that's just because, as I said in the video, I don't need too many materials to get over here, and then I can just use these 2 ramps to get up behind, and now this guy basically has no indication that I'm over here, and I can line up the shot until basically I find a perfect moment. Imagine if I would have farmed longer, then it would have taken longer to chill there, and then I would not have been able to execute this strategy. And as you can see, that's kind of what that guy's doing. Like, he's farming, he's looting, he's taking all the time in the world, and I basically have so much time to just line up a shot. I'm kind of messing around here, I think, yeah. But imagine I have a sniper. If I find a good moment, like he goes for a chest, he pops shield, because quite often people just pop shield there in the open, like dum-dums. And now you'll see kind of what he thinks, because he thinks I'm still over at the other building. So as you can see, he thinks clearly that I'm still in here. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go push this guy, when in reality I'm over here and he isn't even blocking off this angle. So I do miss a couple shots, which is kind of sad, but then I do laser him in the end. So as I said, it's not a most perfect example, but it does showcase what I kind of wanted to show about this strategy and how it works. I've had way better experiences where people would actually come towards this building itself, and then you can just SMG them or AR them, whatever. In this case, I use my AR because the distance, plus, I mean, it's a blue AR, so gotta kind of play off your strong suit and your loadout. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this example. I'll let you enjoy the rest of the video.
Okay, that means if I'm right here on this here, then I probably could get a good angle to him.
Yeah, so basically,
hyper.
it's basically one of three things will happen generally. So if you go back to the other building, so while you're standing on, it's a little slow, it's okay. So while you're on the back here, and you kind of watch the hypers guy, and so you're not looting that chest or anything, yeah? So like you're just chilling there. Okay. One of three things will happen. Either he'll come towards this house, and then you can just peek over the top and you can laser him with whatever you have, either an AR, an SMG, or even a shotgun if he goes to the roof himself. Second option is he will be looking at the building you're in first, so like where Notorious is right now, where you see him. In which case, sometimes you can get a sneaky angle too because he's not blocking off this side. And the third thing that'll happen is he'll see you, so he knows that you're here. And if that happens, then you can generally just loot this building, like safely, like a little bit. Don't go just loot it without looking towards him, but like every couple seconds look at him, make sure that he's not moving yet, make sure that he doesn't get any free shots on you. But that way, basically all three of those options are decent, because, well, actually all three of those options are really good if you think about it, because either you get free damage or you get free loots. So the key to that is basically you want to loot this as fast as possible, the first building. And this is so yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you probably would say that I tried to get this house first, right?
Yes.
Okay. And after that, I gonna move to there and try to laser the guy which is in this house.
Yeah, so basically you want to get on top of this roof without him being able to see that you're up there. So like don't build anything in line of sight. It's like build behind this house. Unless obviously he sees you. If he sees you, then it's going to be different. But as I said, like if he sees you, then you just try to loot this house. Because
if you say if you see me, also mean while I move.
Yes. While you move, then you just need to build a couple walls to make sure that he doesn't like shoot you. You know.
Yeah.
But that doesn't cost a lot of mats as long as you keep moving. The more you stand still, the more mats you're going to take because he's going to spray your walls.
Yeah, sure.
So that's basically how I've been playing this spot, and it's been going pretty well. The thing is, like when you have three buildings like this where none of them have amazing loot, but them combined have good loot, you know. Basically, the first person to push usually has a disadvantage if the other person or if the other people are ready for it. So, for example, if you're on the roof, he can't really push because he doesn't have mats. He probably doesn't have the best gear. So basically, as long as you can secure that second house before the other guy, that's going to be a huge advantage because he can't really push you, and you get free loot as long as you make sure that he can push you. Because obviously, if you don't give him a reason not to push, or sorry, if you don't give him a reason that it's bad to push him, to push you, if you still understand what I'm saying, then it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like, so what I mean to say is like you can't just loot blindly and expect him not to push. You have to show that you're up there. You have to show that, like, yeah, you push me, I'm gonna laser you, basically like that. Because I mean, he does not have more than like 200 mats, and 200 mats is not a lot if you want to push a house like this, because it's gonna cost at least like what 150 to ramp up, and then you got 50 mats up like left. It's a really bad situation for him at that point.
Yes.
So yeah, but the main hard part is definitely when you're contested for this first building. But as I said, like you want to just try to fly in through the other side. Yeah, that looks weird. Because when you fly out through
the...
Okay. Yeah, you're good. So if you're flying through the other sides, through that corner, then you have two options. You can either go down or up. When you come in through the roof itself, so where that campfire is, then you basically limit your options, which is not... You don't want to limit your options, because it basically means if this top area wouldn't work out, then you're dead. Because there's no... Good?
Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
okay.
So you see how this going through there is probably like going to be better than going through that campfire spot? Just because you kind of... You have two options.
Through here. And then I just get like here or here on the top the weapon, build the chest over them, down, and more or less there is good loot.
Yeah, so as I said, like it just depends on the situation, but like going through that corner gives you options, and options, that's just the key to early game, because
bro
damn. Because like if you go through that top, like where the campfire is, then either you have bad loot or good loot, and you're or, like, whatever happens, and there's nothing you can do about it anymore. Like that chest is basically it. But if you go through that corner, then you can either go down, you can go up. There's usually a floor loot spawn right there already, so like you'll probably have a weapon.
Yeah, and also if he lands on the top first, and I can't get the chest anymore, I can go down.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
It's more or less.
Oh, I didn't know there was a. Yo,
nice.
go back. Go. I didn't know there was a. I did not know there was something here. I'm gonna.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I did not know that actually.
I didn't know
funny.
it. I just landed. The first time I just landed here and just got a great pistol and got shotguns.
That's nice to know those kind of spots, because even like when you come, like if you come around here later in the game, quite often those kind of spots people forget. So you can get like I remember that I had that like a lot when I like season 9 or something. Like I used to go through retail all the time because there was like this spot in Doghouse where like no one would look, and like there would be like minis there, something like sometimes those kind of things. Just be nice.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes. So I think that's basically sums up the. You're lucky that I know this spot fairly well, so I'm, like that's. But generally, you want to whatever, like even if you don't drop here anymore, you want to think of a strategy for every early game that you want to do, because it's important. You want to know what strategy is going to work, and because that works both defensively and offensively. So imagine you have a worse drop than someone for that building, you can still go for the other building just as long as you know. Then you know what strategy the other guy might do, because that's a strategy that you know how to do. You know what I mean? So you know that you have to watch out for that top area. You know you have to loot fast because he might go for that other building. Those kind of things.